Hi everyone, I've got La Bataille de Hanau 1813 set up on the table at the moment. This is part of the Viva l'Empereur series, published by Legion Wargames. I've done an unboxing of this game fairly recently and got it on the table, got everything set up. A few things I'll just want to call out before I start playing the game. So on the first turn, any unit south of this river here won't be doing anything. There's a little bit of ambiguity in some of the setup, I will be honest, and I've just made some decisions. Quite cheerfully set the game up and crack on and sort of learn the game through play. I've been through the rules and been through. There are some exclusive rules, some special rules specific to this scenario, and then there's the actual sort of standard and advanced rules for the system, as it were. The game looks great. The map looks great. Pretty much, I've started every single counter in a sort of column formation. You do have the freedom to set them up as you want. So all of mine are set up in columns, and yeah, I'm just going to sort of crack on and play through the turns. It's not a huge game in terms of length, I don't think. 12 turns. And it's not a huge number of counters. As you can see, vast majority of the counters are north of this river here. So I don't think it will take too long. I think it'll take a few hours to play through the 12 turns. We'll see how we get on. And yeah, looking forward to it. The game, as I said, looks really cool. I do like these the counters, and I'm particularly interested in the sort of how it solos when you can change the formation. I'm interested to see how that sort of works out as a mechanic. So we've just done the first turn, a very dramatic first turn already. The French broke out from this wooded area here. We've had cavalry charges. Their opponents tried to frantically form squares they were unable to do, and has resulted into several formations or several units in disorder. Unfortunately, the French cavalry ran out of steam and then took some heavy musketry fire here, resulting in significant step loss. Here, this side of the woods as well, again, very fierce musketry firing between the two sides, with step losses on both sides. Here we've had a cavalry charge, horse charge, and a counter cavalry charge here, to no great effect yet. So both sides already in the thick of the battle, both sides taking step losses and reductions, already proving out to be quite dramatic. So at the end of that turn, yeah, the French are definitely getting a bit of a mauling. The French have lost numerous horse units, counters I'll call them, and there's been a lot of fierce fighting in and around this sort of wooded area here and over here as well. And as we can see, their enemies are making good on that. So there are some more French reinforcements later in the game. I might bring them in earlier just to see if they can swing it back to even things out a little bit. But as you can see here, simply on the board, the French are being pushed back and not being able to break out this wooded area here. So the game's moved a little bit back to the French being definitely in the battle a lot more. They were able to inflict some casualties, some step losses, etc. And they've pretty much made some good progress in this area here, and have been able to push their enemies out here. And there's a bit of a standoff here because we've got lots of horse and artillery, and neither side is willing to commit to charging against the front of those artillery guns. Here we've got some more dense fighting in this area and this area here. So looking at the casualties and the step losses, things are evening out a lot more, and perhaps even a little bit in the favour of the French at the moment. So we're at the sort of midway point in the battle now, and the French are definitely taking some casualties. Their enemies are in this battle are making good on a few advances. They're precarious in this area. They're just about holding on here. There are quite a few. I mean, it's not a massive counter game, but you can see there's a lot of build-up of counters, and you have to orientate them correctly into the hexes. So that takes a little bit of time. Nothing too extensive, though. But definitely the French, it feels like still the underdog in this battle at the minute. So we're getting into the sort of the last third of the battle now in terms of the time, and it feels like in some ways the French have the upper hand, and in other ways the Austrian Bavarian army have the upper hand. So there's a lot of fierce fighting in the same sort of areas, really. This area and this area here. Napoleon took a gamble and charged. But quite ineffective here. Both sides have taken more step losses. In terms of step loss count, definitely the French have the upper hand. And there's just lots of very fierce sort of fighting around this area here. There are quite a few counters from the Austrian Bavarian Austrians and the Bavarians that are still sort of not really in the fight yet, but got a few more turns, and then we'll be bringing some reinforcements in to see what impact that will make onto the battle. So we're going to finish the game there, and it was technically a victory to the French. They scored more victory points than the Austrian Bavarian army. It was to be honest with you, it felt pretty close. There were some victory conditions that I just chose to ignore, to be honest with you. If I look at the book, there's some things about getting certain units above certain points on certain roads, and I didn't want to play that way. I just wanted to play a narrative-led battle experience, just to see how it could unfold, and move some counters, throw some dice, and just have a bit of fun, learn about some of the mechanics, and in doing so felt that I'd achieved that. I'm sure if you were playing face to face with someone, there were probably definitely some things that I would play again, having done quite differently. I found overall the French slightly more challenging to play as in this particular game. Like I said, it was quite close. It's quite a lot of drama, quite a lot of action, which is what I'm looking for when I'm playing a game solo. And bear in mind, like I said, I am playing these games solo with looking for a dramatic story, really, a dramatic narrative within the battle. And I definitely got that playing this evening. So yeah, very much enjoyed it. The game does have some quite interesting mechanics. There's a few things that I will talk about when I'll do a separate review, I think. And there'll be a few things I want to talk a bit about with this particular game in the series. But overall, like I said, I've enjoyed my evening playing this war game. Could have gone either way at multiple points in the battle. So, which for me is always a good indication of a fun, narrative-driven war game experience in this Napoleonic period of history, which as you all know, I'm a massive fan of. It's one of my favourite periods of history. So, yeah, really enjoyed it. And thanks a lot for watching. I will do a separate video for the review. If you want to know more about this game, what you get in the game, I did do an unboxing. I'll put a link onto that video as well. And thanks for watching as ever. Thank you.